Alright folks, we're back at it again today. We're on my favorite little crappie lake. Hoping to catch some crappie, but I'm not sure that'll happen. I'm catching some small bluegill so far on a worm. I try to catch them on a little gulp. They'd bite it, but not enough to get the hook. I gotta put a new worm on just to do. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today. Looking for some panfish, of course, or whatever bites. I don't care. I'm not picky. Just throwing a little red worm. My voice is starting to get better after all this crappy Lyme disease stuff. So, it's what it is. I'm just kind of double hooking them. Fish are kind of deep. The water temperature dropped to 61 and then like 61.4, and it was over 71 or 2 last time I was out here. So the water temp's gone down quite a bit, pretty fast. And the fish seem to be kind of deep. Yep, we just took that worm. I had one there. It didn't hardly get down there, and they snatched it right off. Suckers. I guess I'll try to hook it on a little better. Usually it lasts longer than that. I can't believe they stole it on the first nibble. I need some smaller jig heads, but I could probably throw a tungsten down there. Of course, I got my KastKing Royal Legend Pro 2-pound test, vicious mono, excellent combo, a lot of fun. Evidently you're on the rod tip, still on the rod tip. Twirling method ain't working. I don't know what the heck is going on. What the hell? Did it go through here? Alright. Gotta put on my glasses. I don't know what's going on. I think the line went through the end of the rod tip there. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a lot of fish on the graph. I don't know how big any of them are. I haven't felt any monster bites yet, but pretty good tugs. Just hoping that we can catch a couple decent fish today. There's one. I don't feel very big. Nope, he gone. I'd like to catch a few crappie to take home for dinner, but maybe a couple nice bluegill. Whatever I can catch that's decent size. I went out and took my trail cameras yesterday. I only had one. No, I didn't have any bucks on camera, just a couple does and fawns, and that's about it. State land around here is getting pretty beat up. Not many deer left on all these extra gun seasons they keep throwing out there and road hunting going on, and it's kind of hard to find some deer. Especially ones big enough you want to shoot. DNR says we have a deer population trouble. Not around here. Maybe downstate and all that private farmland where there's bazillions of deer at. Yeah, there's troublesome down there, but you can't hunt it. How are you going to kill the deer off if you can't hunt it? You get all these extra tags and stuff, and tags are, getting used on public land a lot of times, and there's a fish and little like dinky little bluegill. Yeah. So I don't like to rant, but just gets hard. I haven't shot a deer in 4 years because I just haven't had the opportunity. Spend all season setting up and getting ready to hunt, and then people, come out the day before opening day and set up tree stands everywhere, or they're out road hunting the 2 tracks and smoking all the deer off out of the truck window with their 2 tracking. But it is what it is. I don't get one, I guess I don't get one. Just the way it goes. They're showing a lot of fish down there, but I didn't bring the bobber rod, but I did bring the drop shot rod. So I could throw that down there too, but it's just not as fun as the ultralight. Let's face it. Even them dinky fish feel pretty good on this thing. Boy, in the wintertime, that piece of meat would have been gold down there. Not big enough for in the summertime. Well, end of summer or fall, whatever you want to call it. Beginning of September. Leaves are starting to change already a little bit. We'll do it Richard Jean style, right through the egg sac. Richard Jean style, the fishing machine. Machine! Bit of a breeze today. It's supposed to be southwest, but right now it's northeast, so it's what it is. One of those days. Wind just can't make up its mind. Oop, there was a bite and he's gone. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think it's a crappie. It is a crappie. No, it's a little bass. Just a little bass. Cool. Little bass assassin. Get some sun on him. Pretty little guy. Have a great day. Thanks for playing, buddy. That was cool. I was like, man, that's a crappie. No, I wish. That'd have been cool. I need to find where them crappie are at. Once I lose them, man, it's hard for me to find them again. Especially in their transition period. They're going from the warmer water to like it's cold front. I don't know. They must go deeper. I don't know if they're suspended. I can't find them on the graph. So I don't know. There we go. Another bass. Oh, it's a perch. Little perchy perchy. Little perch. Little perchy. You can see him hitting it right down here below the boat, probably about 5 feet down or 6 feet down. I can see the jig disappears, but there's another little bluegill, I think. Yep. Hang on, I don't want you to spike me, little feller. A blue hammer, a blue gile. And we are wrapped. Wrapped around the rod tip. Here's a bunch of fish on the graph. Oh, that was a better fish. And they got the worm again. They got the worm again. Thought my line was moving. Oh man, there's another nice fish. You let it go. Oh, there we go. Another little bass. Yep. Wow, no, that's a shiner, I think. Ooh, wee! Look at the size of that guy. Almost looks like a smelt, but they're too fat for a smelt. Looks like a shiner or a creek gum or something. That was funny. If I'd have known that's what that was, I'd have played him a lot longer. Might have caught a bass on that. Just tossing all around and trying to find some fish. This is the least windy spot on the lake at the moment. So we still get the little bit of a breeze that spins us all around. There we go, there's a fish. Maybe another little bass or decent bluegill. Fighting pretty good. Oh, it's a nice pumpkin seed. Decent little guy. Oh yeah, he's pretty. Pretty little pumpkin seed. Right, about 4.5, 5 incher maybe, no biggie. I've caught plenty over 10 and threw them all back. I haven't caught any that big in this lake, but I've caught a couple 10.5s in one lake and a couple lakes actually around here. I've caught some pretty big pumpkin seeds. Looks like right now the clouds are coming out of the northwest, so now the wind's coming out of the northwest a little bit. Not supposed to rain, but sure looks cloudy enough to rain. But we shall see. See some bait fish flicking on the surface over there. So I don't know if that's a bass chasing them or if it's crappie. I'd love to find me some crappie. Let's throw that kind of behind us there. We can't see. Another wind's coming out of the west, southwest now. Down here, clouds are still going. Coming from the northwest. I think we're gonna get on the move. Alrighty. I know there's a couple posts in the ground. Come up out of the bottom right around here somewhere. I always like to throw by them because you never know what might be hanging out on a stick. Nothing on that one. The sun comes out, it's nice. You guys probably can't see it down in that water to see that tree sticking up out of the bottom. Probably not. Ooh, that might be a patch of crappie right in front of me here. Finding a lot of action, that's for sure. A lot of fish on the graph, but a lot of small fish biting when they bite. Looks like the graph is just loaded down there again, but so I might wind up throwing a drop shot down here too. Maybe there was some crappie hanging out in the weeds or something that they would come out and get this little guy. Get themselves a little hunk of wormy worm. I know there's nothing shallow, I can see that for sure. So I'm just throwing it up kind of shallow and letting it drift back. That was a piece of grass, I think. Coontail grass or something. Kind of a boring fishing trip so far. I might put you guys on pause until I can find some fish. I know it's no fun watching no fish catches, but 90% of people that come out here bluegill fishing, they always start right over here for some reason. I don't catch many fish over here, but if you come over here and they'll anchor right out here at where the current break is there between where the wind's blowing and it's not blowing quite so bad. It's a little transition right there. People anchor right there all the time, and they always cast to the shallows. And yeah, I never had much luck over here. Back right behind me over here is where I caught my biggest bluegill, but 2 or 3 years ago at 11 incher. But I don't know if he's still kicking or not. I threw him back, of course, but a lot of people keep those fish. I don't know why, but they do. If I'm keeping bluegill, I usually try to keep them. They're not even marking hardly any fish over here. I try to keep between 8.5 and 9.5, 9.5. Yeah, the big ones gotta be let go, man. They just gotta be, in my opinion. Everybody can do their own thing, but people fish these small lakes and always keep all the big fish, and then they come back to fish and catch big fish again. They don't catch big fish and they complain about it. Well, because you're keeping all the big fish, you dummies. Keep all the big fish. The smaller fish had no reason to get any bigger to compete. It's science, but whatever. Science don't matter anymore. It's all about making money and bragging about how many big fish you got. I brag too, but I show them on a picture, but I don't give it. I'm not gonna eat all them big ones, that's for sure. If they were to swallow the hook, something like that, to where they're not gonna live, okay, but keeping a perfectly healthy big fish like that is no sense. And if you're gonna have it mounted, all you need is pictures and measurements. Replicas are every bit as nice and not better than the skin mounts. No sense killing a nice, perfectly healthy fish for just to put it on your wall or collect dust. We might have to go and brave the wind a little bit here. Braving the wind whether we want to or not right now. There's a fish. A little bluegill. a little guy, but we're getting blown all over the place. Oh, I had another bite. Looked like my line was taken off. I caught a crappie over here. There might be some crappie on the screen right there. I caught a crappie over here before. I think it was it might have been this spring or last fall I was catching them over here. I think it was last fall before ice season. Sorry about the bad angle. Still drinking out of a straw, but did the anchor seal up? Are we drifting? Looks like we're drifting. Oh, here we go, we're locking up. Oh, there's some fish here. This might be some crappie. They look like bigger fish. You might have found some crappie. Maybe, I don't know. Been wrong before. I'm gonna put a new hunk of worm on there. I think them fish are over here to my left a little bit, I think. But there I go thinking again, because I was spinning that way when I seen them. Marking some fish over here to my right. What is it? About 10 feet out, right on the bottom, pretty much. Let that go down. Try tossing up here. Letting that swing on back to us. Bunch of fish on the screen. Just gonna let it go right down to the bottom, I think. I think that was a weed. Thought I had a fish. I thought I had a fish, but I don't think I did. I got something. I don't know what it is, but I got something and it's fighting pretty good. Might be a crop star? Or what is that? Oh, it's a rock bass. Rocco! What are you doing, Rock? Rocco, rock bass. Hold still, little feller. Oh, Rocco Pico train. Cute little, hang on now. Ah. Have a good day. Thanks for playing. Now this is in the net. Alright, this calls for glasses again, I guess. Put my sunglasses back on. Go around the rod tip. Let's cast back up that way again. Cast and tug. It sinks pretty slow, being only, well, 3/4 of a 32nd ounce jig, I guess, or a little bit less probably. Just gotta keep an eye on that line. And there we go, fish on. Alright, now I know people anchor over here all the time. I think that's a bluegill. Yep, that's a bluegill. A little better one. I don't think he's quite a netter, but he's a little better. Thanks for playing, Sassy McFrassy. try that again. Whew, didn't get all the way down. That's another little teeny bluegill. Oh, quit splashing. Little gill hammer. That one didn't get down that deep. That only made it down about 8 feet, I think. 6 or 8 feet. Now the wind picked up, going right in our face, so now it's hard to see the line because it's getting blown all the wrong directions. There we go. Another little bluegill. Yep. Pretty one there. Good day. Thanks for playing. That was fun. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. Finding some fishies. Find some crappie, what we need to find. That'd be awesome. But I'll take some bluegill. They're fun. Got water spots all over my face. You guys got any spots on you though. You look safe. I lost my hunk of meat. Oh, what was that? I think that was just a hunk of weed. There's not much worm left on that sucker. I better freshen it up. You know, I'm gonna toss it back down there. What the heck? I'm not even gonna squirt or level off my jig head. I'm just gonna throw it right back out there. And the winds are whipping. Whip, whip, whipping. Whipping, whipping, whippoorwill. Hitting on the fall. A little teeny bluegill. And I was going to change my worm. There was enough meat on there for him, that's for sure. Oh, I want to come loose. Cabaloose. we go. Another little bluegill. Hang on, hang on. Ah. Son of a gun. It's in the yak boat. Ow! He spiked me. He got me. Well, if you'd hold still, I'd get you out of the dirt, silly. Goofball. Puppy dog's back there like, who the hell are you talking to? You crazy. No crazier than you, dog. Remember that one. Thinking we need another hunk of meat on there. I just thread him on a little bit and push him on over that piece of thread that's on there. And then I just stick the tail end and I'm gonna throw off to this side. See what happens. And then I just double hook that tail end like that. Throw him out there. Spider or something hanging down off my hat. Thought I had a bite. Sucker. Fooled me. He was like, yeah, you the sucker. You the sucker. You set the hook on nothing. That felt like a bite, but I was thinking it was not. What is that? Looks like there was something swimming right below the surface. That was my bait at first, but it was not. Maybe I'll find out. I might have caught it. I think it was a bluegill. Oh, look at that Rapatowski. How about that shizzle? Well, shizzle me timbers. Oh, hi, puppy dog. Hope to get a drink of water. Hi, cutie. Good girl. Oh, look at that tummy. Scratch your tummy, scratch your tummy. You okay? Get too much water, did ya? The sun's still hot when it comes out, that's for sure. Oh, that was a bigger fish. Don't know what it was. What it was, what it was. Make it a little better bluegill, perhaps. Yeah. Oh yeah, I ain't a bad bluegill. Don't break me off, Bluey. I'll take that worm, thank you. Not a bad one there. Let that one go down about 9 or 10 feet, and I just started slowly letting it come back across. And seems like that's where the bigger fish are possibly at. That was a big hit. And I whiffed on him. Whiffed again. That was a small bite though. Another smaller bluegill. Not too terrible. Oh yeah, he's all wrapped up. He's doing tricks and stuff. Hold still. Little feller. Little feller. But they sure fucking hit hard. Hit like a freaking Mack truck. You okay, Poppy? Huh? What are you choking for? You okay back there? Getting a little warm? You're right in the sun, so I don't want you to be too warm, but it's not that. It's nice and breezy, so. Well, this camera's got a wide angle lens because the way the kayak sways around so much, you guys can still see quite a bit of what's going on, so I try to keep the camera pointed in the direction I'm casting, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Oh, there's something decent. Just another hard fighting little bluegill. He ain't very big, but man, he was putting up with tussle. Putting up with tussle. I think I hit I might have hit a fish on there. Try to get down about 10, 11 feet or so. Oh, that was a bite. Another small bluegill. Oh, jeepers. I just threw this thing over the side of the boat and got this little guy. He was up shallow. It's only about 6 foot below the surface. Not even. Yeah, it's about 6 foot. Pretty little guy. Looked like it might have been a pumpkin bluegill hybrid or something. I don't know. Dang it. I'm getting some pretty good bites right here. You can see the jig head. There's another one. Right through the nostril. He's got a little hump in his, little divot in his head. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. A little dent in the head. Got a little teeny hunk of worm left down there. Let's see if they'll bite it. Yep, something bit it, but didn't get it. I didn't set it in time or whatever. I can just barely see the jig head. I can't see the fish down there, but I can still see the pink jig head. Floating around. I'll stab myself. Stab myself with the hook. Yeah. They may be small, but they're fun. Just hitting right below the boat. That's awesome. I'm sure you guys can. Hopefully, you can see my rod tip there. I was looking at the camera, not at my rod tip. Just a little, not even maybe a 1/4 inch chunk of worm on there. Got a bite. No, don't go into the sea. He's still trying to go into there. Get out of here, little feller. Crikey's out. It's getting breezy. I'm gonna try to catch one. Getting the shine off the camera lens, or the back, yeah, like whatever, off the camera here. Try to catch another one. Maybe I'll try to find some crappie, or just take off. It's starting to get pretty windy. Wasn't supposed to be, but it is. I guess they said 5 to 10 according to the weather app, and that's probably about what it is. So I can't complain too much about that. It's not terrible. It's not 15 or 20 or nothing cool like that, but yeah, here we go. Not a giant, but another decent one. Why do they keep... Ow! Son of a bitch! Oh, come on, really? Get out of the boat. Stab me through 3 times, little frigger. Might try throwing a gulp down there and see if I can catch a crappie. I might be crappie mixed in with these bluegill. They just don't want to bite the worm. I don't know. The lens still looks pretty clean. Can't see my line. It's pretty freaking breezy. Here's something a little bit better. No, it's not. It was just a piece of grass. I was like, oh yeah, that's a decent fish. No, it's not, earwig. It's not. Not even close to a decent fish. Not even good for salad. I'm thinking that them are crappie maybe up higher there. And they don't want a piece of worm. We want to throw on a gulp. Or a Bobby Garland or something. Minnow shaped. Got this little fishing worm minnow hanging out right here. It's more of a minnow shape. Marking tons of fish. Something bit. Something bit again. Bluegill. I want to fish more minnow. I think that's actually the bluegill pattern of it too, if I'm not mistaken. Little guy. Ah. Really? I just wrapped that thing around the eyelet somehow. Oh, there was something on it. Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, Scoob-Dooby-Doo. Seems like most of the fish will we turn it up this way here. We'll turn it into the wind a little bit more. Try to run her about 5 or 6 feet down and see something come up and smack it. There's stuff suspended about 5 to 6 feet. I'm not going to stay here much longer. I want to go try to find some crappie. I might have to go down in the windy area for that. Like I said, I found crappie over here before in this general area and just tore them up I'm pretty sure it was last fall. I just tore them up over here. As long as I could keep on to school, I was catching them. Nothing wants to bite. Nothing that wants a minnow type deal. Crazy good. There's fish all around me down there. It must be just bluegill. Get on the move here. Well, I'm gonna have to go potty real quick, and then I'll get back with you. The rope, the kayak, and the anchor trolley. So now we're facing northeast-ish. So Ellie came up and sat on my lap for a few minutes, so I just chilled out for a few and gave her some lovins. Gave her a chew bone, her dental bone deal she gets every day. A bunch of fish out here. Got some nice sized fish. Just not at the right depth. There was something was hitting it. Not at the right depth or what, but I don't know how deep it was. Definitely deeper when it was there. So I got dog slobber on my glasses from Ellie giving me kisses and just tearing up my glasses. I hope you guys are clean. Well, I can't tell. Okay, let's give that a whirl. Come on, a piece of weed down there, a piece of grass. Yup, there's the remnants, the evidence of the grass, weed, whatever you want to call it, stuff. Super slow fishing today. Unless you can find some bluegills and throw a worm down there and then they tear it up. But see, it's showing there's fish right out in front of me somewhere. I think it's a little off to our left. Try that way. You can see them on all over the down scan, and then the side scan that shows them on both sides, but look like they're down anywhere from like 5 or 6 feet to 10 feet. If it's crappie, I try to keep it above them, of course, but just hope I'm not too far above them. If it's crappie. Whatever it is really ain't biting what I got going on, so. How was your chew bone, puppy dog? Let it sink, let it sink, let it sink. Doo-doo-doo. Just a couple more casts here. If we don't get a bite, we'll scramble around a little bit and see what we can find. If anything, we'll try. Caught the plopper on that one, on the orange rod. So you can start top water, but I don't see nothing hitting top water. Got the little crankbait, drop shot, and I think it's a number 4, number 5 chartreuse Meps inline spinner on the yellow rod. Just marking a bunch of nice looking size fish down there, but I think that was weeds. It might have been too deep. with a big old gulp in this little jig head. At least tell me if they want a bigger bait. If that's the case, I'll put a bigger hook on. But pile of dead gall. Good bites right there. I pulled it off the hook or something. Couple good doinks there. Thought I had him on. Oh, he was on for a second. Well, like a nice fish too. Should have brought my ice rod. Could have been real jigging off right off the side of the kayak. Oh, well, I had to put a smaller gulp on too. It might help. Or putting a bigger hook on. Ultralight. Come on, fishies. They must not like the little one. They won't bite it. Might not be at the same depth either. Oh, there's something. Get that on the drop. That's a bluegill. Oh, pumpkin seed bluegill type deal. Yeah, pumpkin seed, I would say. He's thick too, boy. He's a chunk meister. Ah! Yeah, here he goes. He was out of here. I wanted no part of being in front of that camera. Be disrespectful. Decent sized fish. I think that's about gonna get us where we need to be. Maybe. Come on, fishy, fishy. Bite my hook. Oh, I picked up this weight and I let off instantly because yeah, my reaction time is not that fast anymore. Just went to twitch my rod tip and there was weight. You don't expect there to be weight there. There was something nibbling. I'm gonna reel it up just to have a couple cranks around. You might be a little bit too deep. Sets are free, right? Few and far between. The wind's a whiffing. Might call her a day here pretty quick. The wind's starting to pick up a little more than I want to deal with. See, they pulled my pants down. Oh, they tore that thing up. Tore it up. Might have to go back to a worm. Let me throw a worm on real quick. There's a piece of hair. It was in the grass. I thought so. It was a little too deep. I already got that thing pretty tore up. We catch one more fish, we'll call her a day. I'm getting a little hungry. Getting a little tired. May not seem tough, but doing things after you get that Lyme disease crap, and it slows you down a little bit. Try to get some work done or else I can get some money. We don't make no money in a while. The other day I went and worked for one guy for my buddy, so. Oh man, what the heck? How'd we get it around the worm like that? Dummy. Stupid worm. Dumb old worm. Big worm. Alright, see if we can catch another fish, and we'll call it a day. Something decent, hopefully, with a hunk of worm on there. Actually, it's a whole worm. It won't be long, it'll be time to clean this kayak up and park it for the winter. Thought I had a bite, but it must have been just the weight of the worm. Yeah, I had something biting over there, I thought so. Didn't bite it hard, I just was waiting on nothing. So if we lose this worm, we're just gonna call it a day. The wind is picking up. Come on. Get that thing in your yapper. I'm trying to even peel it out there yet. Well. I think we're gonna call her quits, folks. Not as good as day as I was hoping, but still caught some fish. I'm well on the mend from this Lyme disease deal. Yep. So we're getting better there. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.